You're joking, aren't you? It's the Teesside Chef.
It's time for our annual carnival of greed disguised as virtue, so let's exclude the poor and lonely and have a right extravagant celebration with my Christmas gingerbread high-rise. And of course, any construction needs its building materials, so I'm preparing my go-to Christmas biscuit recipe here. It's very simple and works great for gingerbread social housing. It's cheap and sturdy, won't spread in the oven when it bakes, and has all of those familiar Christmas spices, which just aren't generally considered good enough to be combined in recipes during the rest of the year. It's almost as if the traditions of Christmas are manufactured and contrived. But I will be an enormous hypocrite and jump on the festive bandwagon, because Christmas is all about hypocrisy, isn't it? You know, celebrating the birth of a possibly non-existent figure who preached minimalism by emotionally blackmailing society into conspicuous consumption. And I'm cutting out paper shapes as a template for my gingerbread Christmas tower block, but you can make any festive scene with this biscuit recipe. Perhaps make a family who are worried sick about how much it's all going to cost, or a lonely old person sitting alone in their living room, being bleakly reminded of their social exclusion. Or what about a single parent trying to explain to a small child why Santa Claus seems to favour the already affluent? Anything is possible this Christmas time. And the recipe for my Christmas biscuits, along with all the other elements in this video, are available in the description below. And I have to say that I did come to regret putting so many windows in my gingerbread ghetto in the sky. But I'm glad I did leave off dangerous flammable cladding, because corrupt and illegal building practices that blight people's lives don't really work with this recipe, in my opinion. I'm going to bake this for 20 minutes at 140 degrees Celsius fan setting, and then turn the oven off and let it crisp up for another 20 minutes, which will give me ample time to do a bit of last-minute Christmas shopping in my local high street. Not sure how I'm going to do that when my local high street has been decimated by post-industrial decline. Difficult to believe that the hills behind these shops produced the steel that built the world, although maybe if Amazon had to pay the same level of tax and social contribution as the owners of these shops once did, the shops would still be here, and Jeff Bezos would just be some baldy fella. But once I've finished cutting out the rest of my concrete prison, I'll be going on Amazon to buy all my Christmas gifts, because I'm an enormous hypocrite, as I mentioned earlier. And now that all of my prefabricated biscuit slabs are baked to perfection and I have a lovely chocolate cake foundation, I can begin constructing my Tower of Terror. Going to need some builder's mortar, of course, for which I will use a chocolate Royal Icing. And you know, if at any point during the Christmas period your gingerbread building begins to fail, or the construction materials are considered illegal or non-compliant, just get the innocent occupants to pay extortionate amounts of money to repair the mistakes, or just walk away from it altogether. Slowly, if you like, because justice will never catch up with you. And as I put this all together, it's time for another banal question of the week to farm engagement and be a slave to a shadowy algorithm. Do you like living in buildings? Flats, bedsits, studio apartments, houses with stairs that lead up to the bedrooms, cardboard boxes? Let me know in the comments if you like living in buildings. Gonna complete this building with the roof, of course, safe in the knowledge that by the time any structural problems are discovered, I'll be long gone with all of your loot. And they say a building is only as good as its foundations, and this chocolate cake is amazing, so check that out in the description below if you need a faultless chocolate cake recipe. And decorating your gingerbread high-rise couldn't be simpler. Just a bit of graffiti daubed on in food colouring, an ode to a local football team perhaps, or a reminder that Daz was here sometime around the turn of the millennium. A little dusting of icing sugar to finish, frost really rather than snow in Teesside's maritime climate. Ah, Christmas. The holiday that excludes the poor, isolates the lonely, desecrates its purported ideals, and revels in the worship of consumerism. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll see you next time.